This is Pixie doing another video. You have to forgive me if my car sounds a bit noisy. I'm going to give it a carbon clean at some point and see if that's effective. It's an old motor and she probably hasn't had her pistons carbon cleaned. And when you get over a certain amount of miles, so now she's doing about 76,000. But it just feels like hills all the time. I'm on a hill now. I don't rev it that hard, but it burn off excess anyway if you over rev your engine. It's an older engine. It won't do any major damage or anything. Also want to be careful coming out of junctions and stuff, because I need to make sure it's safe enough really to before I blast off. So what else is going on? Some interesting thought. I had an interesting dream yesterday, and there was a figure in there that I associated, because I have a mother anyway, but for some reason there's a figure in this dream that was my mother as well. And I've heard about this before, and I've heard about this before with other entities that they become like a mother figure. So this figure was in there. There's some other things in there. I wonder if that was the jinn playing some games. But there was a good love from this being. It had a lot of love. I should probably say about what happened with my meditation. So we did this more powerful group meditation, and I could feel a lot more energy here. So there's a lot more pressure, warmth. It felt like a burning sensation slightly. And then I felt like the third eye pressure here. So this stuff is real. You know, people would say, well, I don't know if I believe in that or not. Because they're kind of having the subtle effects of it. But when you get into a more, you have an actual physical effect. Like you feel like a kind of burning sensation in your chest, and you think, well, I'm just meditating. You know, nothing else switched on. I mean, other things can increase that. It's fasting. They say fasting and meditation. So if I've been fasting, sometimes, I mean, if you eat a lot of bananas, the potassium, high level potassium can have an effect on your heart, which is true. It has a kind of warm sensation like that. So I might have just enhanced what was naturally going on, and the skin's looking good as well from eating loads of fruit. You can't eat fruit all the time, so I'm going to have some eggs or something. I just don't. Well, there's things that go off in the fridge, so I might just eat a lot of them. I've got some bananas, so I finish off bananas. Just eating bananas every day is one of the key things. But yeah, so I did this meditation, and I started seeing these eyes, and these eyes aren't human eyes, and like it says like one eye, and I was just focusing on it, just trying to like reach and grab it almost. But I did have this like it just felt like a load of energy there on the forehead, and this eye wasn't human. It was black. Around the whites of the eye, it was black, and the iris was a type of blue on it. There's a few other eyes as well, just unusual. You know, I could have been looking at an animal's eye, for instance, or something almost. I did see some other sort of beings. It was something that like kind of between a humanoid, like a bit like a horse, the sort of the head structure a little bit human, but it was also reptilian, and then some features about it as well. So it's kind of such a subtle mix that it's, you know, it's not either. I don't think you can normally compare things to Earth to beings, but this thing's that kind of little bit of a mixture between things that genetically we can associate here. So that was one thing. And there was an amber eye, but anyway, this figure last night. So I wonder if that's connected to it. See, if something's attached to you that's non-human, and then you start developing spiritually, it's going to have a knock-on effect with them. And the other thing about meditation is it interconnects with the being, with things around you, and it's I guess I'd call it quantum engagement. Entanglement sounds like it's an accident. There's intention Because if you create something intentionally, then, you know, it's a bit like saying it was an accident, I invented something. It was really just a matter of time. As simple as that. It's just the way things are. So it may have affected some of these entities as well. And it's just this particular figure yesterday, and I wanted to be interested, and decided to do like a mother, and I got this sort of love from it, and said, yeah, I'm your mother or something, or it's a kind of, I gave it this title of being my mother, which was a bit weird, but I knew I also had another mother, so I don't understand why I was trying to replace that, but it felt like a warm feeling. Even talking about it now, actually, I can feel the warmth and energy in my heart chakra, so I'm going to end up probably doing half an hour meditation today. Maybe I'll dig a little bit deeper. So if you go off and doing psychic stuff, you'll follow these images, these visions that come into your mind. You'll be following them to find out where they lead you, or trying to connect with them in some way. So the heart is kind of like the inner eye looking inwards, and why the external eye, even though it's from your psyche, is looking outwards, looking into the universe. I mean, it can look inwards, like self-discovery, or travel into kind of your own inner world, I guess. But it's, you know, typically some people meditate and they're talking about how they feel, or like, oh, I feel a lot calmer, this is doing stuff. And I think it attunes the person, but there's so many other levels on top of that. And even though they say when you reach a certain point you don't need to meditate anymore, you just have this feeling, a bit like I've got now, just like switching it on a bit, it'll be constantly there. I think you should continue, because it's the beginning of something much bigger, and it's a voyage of discovery. I'd say to anyone, try it out. It's very subtle, so it might take a while before you get the benefits of it. But when you do, then you'll think, wow, that's now I see, you know, now I understand. It's the Eureka moment. Because it's so subtle, you wouldn't notice. I mean, I stopped for a while because I was busy, and then a part of me felt like if you go back, you should go in there, you know. I was planning to anyway, but it was kind of prompting me a little bit. And it was as if I never left. So I think once you start something, internally, once you start something, it continues. It's a bit like with the fasting and the fat genesis and stuff. It's because you've subtly reached a point in time. I think you push yourself, but then you go back to what's considered the normal state. People think they're normal, and they're not. They're eating sweets all the time and things. And they're, you know, basically how you can measure it is what your parents do. Parents have got health problems, and you've got the same diet. It's not necessarily exercise, it's something in the diet's not right. Because eventually you will develop the similar problems. You know, if you're prone to a stroke or something, then it could be a diet, or you've got intolerance to foods, but you can eat them, you've still got intolerance. It's not going to disappear over the night anyway. Yeah, that's fine. It's never a bad thing. Anyway, coming back to other stuff, it's never a bad thing to reach out of your heart. And also the stomach. So try to include that as well. These energy points, what do they do? And the other thing as well, of the mass, if you've got in a group of people, I think their psyche rubs off on you. You know how you hang around with people, they say you can act alike and stuff. When you meditate as well, I think there's more of a connection, like an imprinting. You're imprinting energy onto another person, your signature. Because I was a bit kind of, not harsh, but I said something that didn't sound like myself. Like I was very direct, and I thought, well, that doesn't sound like me. But I thought it is now part of me, but it's a part of something I've gained from being around a person, you know, like, this is the better way of dealing with things, sort of stuff. Anyway, this is Pixie signing off in this video. Have a great day, and speak to you soon.